Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here. We have some Diablo 4 news, which I'm going to read through. This is quite a bit of stuff here that they're announcing here for the upcoming season, and we're going to be going through all of it. It's my first time going through it, so it might take a little bit of time, but yeah, it should be pretty fun. Looking forward to what Diablo 4 has coming down the pike. Season 2 has been amazingly fun. Way big step up for me compared to the launch of the game, so tuck in, grab yourself some water or something, and we're going to get into this. So the season name is going to be Season of the Construct. We just watched a quick little video on the Diablo site that talks about how it's like basically some sort of mechanical gauntlet labyrinth thing built by Zoltan Kuhl that has gone evil, and it's his constructions, I guess. So ancient forces threaten Sanctuary, hated by your seneschal companion, hazard the many traps and devastating constructs beneath the deserts of Kyrgyzstan. So I'm assuming that this means that we're going to have companions, or mercs as they're kind of commonly known in Diablo, which is like a little companion that follows you around and helps you do battle, which I guess is a good thing. I didn't really like them in Diablo 2. Diablo 3, I kind of felt that they were cool once they did the rework, so it'd be kind of interesting to see what they do with them. I really liked in Diablo 3 that you could put certain items on them that you would see benefits from, especially ones that like had specific legendary powers that would then emanate onto your character, kind of like as an extra item slot. I thought that that led to a lot of interesting decisions there. So deep beneath these swirling sands, elemental forces are amassing for the malicious whims of the demon Malphus. Only by descending far below the surface will we be able to call this cursed threat from its root. Season of the Construct begins on January 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is like 1 p.m. Eastern time, my time. And so I guess we'll be live streaming that probably for about 24 hours. Prepare to uncover the powerful secrets of Zoltan Kuhl's loom with a new dungeon type called Vaults, a seasonal robotic seneschal companion. Okay, so this is seasonal only, and so it is a robotic seneschal companion. I guess like in the thing there was like a little spider thing that was crawling around, and it kind of like reminded me a little bit of Path of Exile Delve, where you had like the cart helping you out kind of. And then weekly leaderboards in the Gauntlet. Several key quality of life features, including almost constant hell tides, arrive to aid your conquest while fighting in the vaults. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. We're just going to go through one by one. So this new quest line, a new threat lurks deep beneath the sands of Kyrgyzstan, where the loom, an ancient technology designed by Zoltan Kuhl and Ayazan of Chaldeum, has been usurped by the forces of evil, because everything always becomes usurped by the forces of evil. Although Zoltan Kuhl was kind of a bad guy anyways. The demon Malphus is responsible for twisting the loom for his cruel whims. Zoltan's former companion, Ayazan, leads you through the treacherous vaults, desperate to stop the formidable Malphus and his deadly constructs from overtaking Sanctuary. This is interesting because this must mean that if this guy is alive and bringing us through, this guy has to be ancient. Because Zoltan Kuhl was like, all of his stuff was like dust by the time we were in Diablo 3, and it's like 50 years after that. So this guy is a little bit suspect just from that alone. So you travel to the Great Hall, a town center underneath Kyrgyzstan that serves as your base of operations in the fight against the constructs. The Great Hall is your conduit to access the deadly vaults, riddled with elemental hazards and constructs. These vaults are the key to harnessing the true potential of the loom. Travel to the loom to stop the threat at its source and defeat Malphus in a new boss fight. To play the Season of the Construct seasonal questline, you must create a new character on the seasonal realm and have completed the main campaign. Take advantage of the skip main campaign feature once you've completed the prologue if you want to jump right in. So it seems like if you want to play the season, once again, you're going to have to make a character on the seasonal realm and you have to complete the main campaign. But I think you can create a character on the seasonal campaign, do the prologue, skip the main campaign, and be able to jump right in. So you at least have to do the prologue if this is going to be your first season, basically. So you battle side by side with your seneschal companion. You wield the power of the loom by acquiring your very own seneschal companion, which becomes available during the seasonal quest line. In Zoltan's vision, the Seneschal complements your adventures by engaging directly in the fight or aiding you dutifully in the sidelines. So it's this little like spider looking thing. Using magical governing and tuning stones recovered from the vaults and elsewhere in Sanctuary, augment your Seneschal to best suit your targeted build for Season of the Construct. Governing stones determine which attacks your Seneschal can perform, while tuning stones will augment those skills and provide greater utility. You can equip your Seneschal with 2 governing and 6 tuning stones, 1 governing stone for each attack, and 3 tuning stones to augment the ability. Okay, so it seems like you get 2 abilities with 6 like support gems, but each ability only gets 3 support gems. So you have 2 skills and 3 supports for those skills. There are 12 governing stones and 27 different tuning stones of different rarities to seek out in the vaults to unlock the full power of the Seneschal construct. So you have 12 different skills and 27 different supports that you'll be able to use. So it does sound like these are going to have different things that are probably good for different builds, different layouts, different like things that you want to do. So it'll be kind of interesting. So this looks like the thing here. So these are the support ones here, like Genesis, Evernight, whatever this is, tactical support. Then we have Impale, melee, and then Protect, utility. Okay. I don't see anything else that's very different here. But this looks like it's like a little seasonal menu, just like where the vampire powers were before. Although this maybe looks a little different. Although this is Rogue, which I haven't played since launch. So tuning and governing stones can be acquired in a few different ways. Complete vaults to earn 1 random tuning stone, and seek out ward woven chests to earn additional tuning stones, both of which can be earned through various levels of the season journey. Both types have a low chance to appear as drops in playing vaults and arcane tremors. We don't know what tremors are yet. Defeating enemy constructs within the vaults will also grant shattered stone, which can be crafted into governing and tuning stones at the jeweler throughout Sanctuary. I wonder if you're probably going to need to level these up, I guess. I wonder how rare some of these are. One of the big complaints from season 1 is that some of the like reward things were incredibly rare, almost impossible to find, and they ended up like massively increasing their drop rate halfway through the season. To unlock the full power of the stones, you need to increase their raw power by leveling them up. Collect or craft duplicates of the same stones, fuse them together to grant experience, and eventually level up your currently held stones. Increasing the level of these stones increases the potency and ability of these attacks. Increasing the level of your tuning stones can add additional projectiles or augment the damage type they perform. Once you've acquired your Seneschal, they'll follow you everywhere in Sanctuary until the season ends. Okay, so this pet will help you out in all content. It won't just be for this, and so it kind of sounds like the Seneschal is your borrowed power for the season. I'm really hoping it gives you some way to be unstoppable. Really hoping it gives you some way to be unstoppable, because without the vampire power metamorphosis giving you unstoppable, it's gonna be real painful to go back to be getting like crowd controlled all the time. Below is a full list of the governing and tuning stones available for the companion. Wow, they actually gave these to us without having to data mine them. That's nice. So auto defense, the Seneschal construct activates an anti-material field around itself, shooting down enemy projectiles. Cannot shoot down boss or player projectiles, so not good in PvP. And won't save you against bosses. Bushwhack, quickly ambush, dealing damage to each target. May strike the same target multiple times. Maybe like kind of like a DPS thing. Firefly, deploy a small construct that lands on the target and explodes 3 times, dealing damage. Focus fire, the Seneschal construct channels a ray of fire onto targets, dealing damage to each over time. Gyrate, the Seneschal construct whirls its legs around quickly, dealing damage to all surrounding enemies. So like spin to win for your pet. Impale, perform a line attack to all enemies in front of the Seneschal construct, dealing damage. Lightning bolt, launch a bolt of lightning at the target, dealing damage. Arcs to other targets, dealing a portion of the original damage. So a lot of these seem to do damage of different ways and different types. And then we have Protect, which makes it so the Essential Construct materializes a protective barrier on the player for a portion of their maximum life. Reconstruct, the Essential Construct channels a reconstruction beam, healing the player for a portion of their maximum life over time. So we have like a shield, we have a heal, slash, pummel enemies in front of the Essential Construct, dealing damage. And then Tempest, electrically charge an enemy, causing it to deal damage to themselves and additional each second over time. I guess additional damage each second over time. If the enemy is killed, Tempest spreads to another enemy, gaining for an additional time. Well, this text seems very weird. Tempest spreads to another enemy, gaining for additional time and bonus damage. These bonuses are also applied if Tempest is reapplied onto the same enemy. I have a feeling that Tempest is either going to be really busted or not good at all. Okay, so those are all the different skills, and notably, I did not see a skill here that provides Unstoppable so far. Maybe it's in the supports here. We'll have to check it out. So Voluminous support, the supported skills effect is increased. Swift, the supported skill gets attack speed. Breaking, damage from the supported skill instantly destroys enemy barrier effects. In addition, there's a chance to make enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. This could be kind of good. A good way to get enemies vulnerable and to break energy shield could be kind of good. Or I guess barrier. Tactical support, decrease the cooldown. Efficiency, when the supporting skill deals damage, you gain critical strike chance to the same target. This might be good for bossing. Devastation, supported skill gains a critical strike damage bonus. Let's see here. Safeguard support, when used, the supported skill grants damage reduction to you. Okay, this is kind of nice, getting DR from this, especially because you could probably throw this on one of the attack moves and be fine, especially if you don't really care about the thing doing damage. Frigid support, a portion of the supported skill's damage dealt is applied as cold damage over time and applies chill. Just a good way to apply chill. Burning support, a portion of the skill is now burning, does burning damage over time. Burning enemies take bonus critical strike damage from the Seneschal. So the nice thing about this is, one of the annoying things about playing Sorc is that you really want enemies to be burning all of the time so you can get more crit strike damage against them. And this will allow you to basically just get another enchantment slot if you can apply burning to all of the important enemies all of the time and just get something else. Electrocution support, a portion of the supported skill's damage dealt is applied as lightning damage over time and is a chance to stun enemies. Okay. Bleeding makes enemies bleed, and they take bonus bleeding damage from all sources while they're moving. This can be very good for a bleed looking like build. There's a poison one and has a chance each second to spread all poison damage to an additional enemy. Okay, so this turns your poison into a spreader. That seems pretty good. I think druids are going to like this one. Dusk support, a portion of the supported skill's damage dealt is applied as shadow, and the afflicted enemies who attack have a chance for their attacks to be interrupted, but it doesn't work on bosses. That's kind of interesting. Duration support, last longer. Fortify support. So when it uses the supported skill, you gain Fortify. Skills with slower attack speeds or skills with cooldowns increase the Fortify. So now every class has access to Fortify. Every class. So before it was practically hard to, it was impossible for a lot of classes to get it outside of vampire powers. So this is another way for every class to get Fortify. Resource support, player gains an amount of primary resource when the supported skill first deals damage. This seems for fast attacking skills, like this will be very popular for some builds. Just another way to generate U resources is very nice. The supported skill will cause the Seneschal to teleport to the target if out of range. It can only occur once every so often seconds. I really wish this was clearer. Hopefully in-game text is better. Arcing makes it so it can hit additional enemies. Multi-shot launches additional projectiles. Piercing pierces multiple enemies. Ripping, Damage and effects done by the supporting skill to distant enemies pull them to the construct. Can only occur once every so often. So we have get over here from the Seneschal. I kind of like that. Registered damage support. Any damage caused from the support skill is registered. The registered damage explodes at effectiveness when the target dies as fire damage. So is this like kind of corpse explodey a little bit? That could be interesting. The supported projectile skill will auto-seek enemies for a limited duration. Damage from the supported skill slows enemy movement speed. The closer it is to the construct, the greater the slow. The enemies may be slowed up to a max amount. And mockery support. Damage done by the supporting skill taunts enemies hit for a limited duration. This can only occur once every so often per enemy and does not work on bosses. Scholars have spoken in hushed whispers concerning rumors of fabled tuning stones far beyond the capable powers of mere mortals. Their existence is immeasurable, never confirmed by a dignified mage of high ranking. All that is known of them is writ below. Evernight and Genesis, which these are up here, right? Evernight and Genesis right here. So I'm guessing these are like the Uber supports or Uber tuning stones. I wonder what these will do. All right, so now there's test yourself in deadly new dungeons, vaults. So while Ayazen slept, okay, so the reason this guy is still alive is because he like mummified himself or something. Malphus grew in strength, harnessing the awesome power of the loom and corrupting the vast network of vaults lying dormant. Originally armed to keep out any demonic influence, the various hazards implemented now protect the forces of evil they once kept at bay. Those other little spider things here, little seneschals. The vaults are specialized dungeons that house elemental hazards devised by Zoltan Kuhl and Ayuzan himself. Amongst the hazards lay the constructs, an entirely new monster family. Several elemental variants of these monsters lurk in wait for any unsuspecting wanderers to fall into their clutches. Upon entering the vaults, after converting the required pearls of warding, another term that they haven't really told us about. Do we ever find out what the other thing is? I guess we'll go back and we'll look at it. You can be blessed by Zoltan's warding, a special layered blessing which grants access to riches within the vaults. Zoltan's warding diminishes stack by stack if you manage to fall prey to various hazards scattered throughout the vaults. So it sounds like when you go in, you need a key, which is probably pearls of warding, and those pearls of warding give you a buff. And every time you die, you lose a stack of the buff, which reduces your rewards at the end. If you manage to keep the warding intact after defeating the vault boss, you unlock a ward woven chest, which has a higher chance of granting legendary items. Using pearls of warding can increase the risk by changing them for extra stacks of the warding at the entrance. Succeed in your reward will as well. So I'm assuming that like at top end, you're just going to be pumping as many pearls into this as possible. I bet these just drop in the world or something. Hopefully they're like an auto loot. We don't have to click all of them. That'd be really nice. So Nightmare Vaults unlock at World Tier 3. Vault sigils will drop alongside typical Nightmare dungeon sigils, or they can be crafted, which will require pearls of warding to create. These vaults function similar to Nightmare dungeons, however, they will have deadly constructs and hazards scattered throughout, and ward-woven chests for the savvy wanderer. So they're basically gonna be Nightmare dungeons, except for they're going to have different monster types in them and really annoying hazards, which are probably not going to be very fun. The idea of traps kind of just sounds bad. I did a video about one of the trap like dungeons that they have in the game. It is one of the basements, and it is like brutally difficult if you come across it the very first time at low level. It is incredibly difficult. And it killed me a bunch of times, and probably has killed a lot of people as they come across it. So I can only imagine that if it's anything like that, that these hazards are going to feel very bad the first time people come across them, but probably in endgame they'll be a lot more dealable with. So you want to staunch the spread of arcane tremors. Okay, so I mentioned arcane tremors before. So Malphas seeks to unleash deadly constructs upon Sanctuary, pouring from the underground vault to terrorize the innocent and sinful alike. Dismantle deadly traps, destroy lesser and elite constructs to earn Shattered Stone, and dispatching elite constructs grants Pearls of Warding, which can be used to earn higher value rewards from replaying vaults. Negate the Arcane Tremor by defeating the vault's Mighty Herald construct, securing a tenuous piece to the denizens above. This isn't very clear to me what this is. Are there just going to be like little dungeons all over the place that you can run into and nuke the boss, basically? It's kind of what it sounds like. All right, so coming soon, leaderboards will arrive with the gauntlet. Not that gauntlet. This is D4 gauntlet. A new challenge arrives later in the season of the construct. Later in the season, right? So there will not be leaderboards right out the gate. I'm guessing they're not done yet, or they don't want it to be in the first week. They want to create a little bit of hype later on. This could be similar to how they added content later in the season last season, which I think was a good thing. It's a little bit of a shame that we're going to be waiting on these because it's something that people are looking forward to, but also allows people kind of a little bit of cooldown time to actually farm up and not necessarily have to play like 24 hours a day for that first week if you want to get on that first leaderboard. Only the strongest will emerge to claim their place in the weekly leaderboards. The top weekly scorers will earn their permanent place in the Hall of Ancients. Oh, this permanent place in the Hall of Ancients. People are really going to be sweating for these. Really sweating for these. I guarantee it. All right, so QOL updates. This is what we want to see. We want to see more QOL, more good stuff. So starting a season of Construct, Helltides are always active, save for a 5-minute rest once per hour. Battle hell spawns far more frequently, increasing your chances to collect cinders and the bountiful rewards that come with them. Okay, that's pretty good. I like the idea that they're doing Helltides like all of the time, as long as they make the Helltides better. Because Helltide right now feels pretty bad. If it is like Vampire Tide though, the Vampire Tide was so good because it was just so packed with enemies and different things that just gave you lots of stuff. And it didn't feel like you're just like trying to get as many cinders as possible the entire time, which wasn't good. Enhanced movement with Wasti. So it's something that PoE 2 is supposedly adding, but I guess Diablo 4 is getting there first. Wanderers on PC can now navigate the various ways of Sanctuary by using Wasti keys on your keyboard instead of your mouse. Enjoy the increased functionality of traversing through dungeons and above ground alike. Okay. An extra stash tab. Okay. one whole, maybe we'll get this extra stash tab every season, and like 10 years from now we'll have like a lot of storage. Various other quality of life updates. You've also made improvements to reallocating your skill tree, improvements to the UI when trading gold, increased rates to earn the items need to summon the beast of ice, and more. So it says respec mode overview, refund nodes and paths or re-add them. Okay, so it kind of give you an idea of where your points are going. I kind of like this because it was a little bit annoying to have to go, how do I get out of this? To go back and forth between the two of them and have to like always know where all your points were and stuff. It seems like this will be a little bit easier. Stay tuned for a full patch notes for Season of Construct, which will be available on the 19th. And then there, which we'll go over then, I guess. So earn rewards with the season journey and battle pass. So once again, they'll have more battle pass stuff. Typically the battle pass has been kind of worthwhile in terms of like how much money you spend to how much actual like skins and stuff you get. And it's always been pretty easy to get through, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like typically I've been completing my battle pass like on the first day or on the second day of the season pretty early on. And so like this last season, we beat Uber Lilith like before we completed the battle pass, but just barely. And so, yeah. The season's journey is broken into chapters for tasks. As you progress through the journey, you earn rewards such as new legendary aspects, the Awoken Adamant Armor, which unlocks across various higher tiers, and 3 Scrolls of Amnesia. The journey also provides favor, so it sounds like just from doing the journey, we're getting the Awoken Adamant Armor. I think Awoken is normally tagged for good stuff. So this looks kind of okay. I don't like this outfit as much as the vampire outfit, though. I like the vampire outfit quite a bit. I'm a big sucker for vampire stuff, though. No pun intended. But what else is on here? So I'll say the mount thing is returning. Probably like just more gold and experience and stuff. I did like that on the season blessings, they make it so that your mount can basically be sprinting 24/7. This never runs out of energy. That is really, really good. So the battle pass starts on the 23rd and will host 90 rewards. And then if you get the premium pass, you'll get the Awoken armor sets, platinum, and more will also wait for you. The Awoken spheral barding mount and Awoken clockwork equid mount. I mean, that's kind of neat, I guess. If you decide to embrace the destructive terror and get the accelerated season battle pass, you also receive 20 tier skips, which is totally not necessary, and the spinning loom emote. Smoldering ashes earned from the free tiers can be spent on season blessings that provide helpful bonuses to beat back Hell's armies. There's 3 new blessings for the season of Construct. Urn of Enduring Grace, which boosts the duration of shrine effects. We also get the chance to receive an additional tuning stone, and then boost the chance to receive a greater collection from Whisper rewards. Okay, so they're making these a little bit more impactful than they have been, which is good, I think. This is like something that everybody's going to be able to unlock, and this is going to be pretty good. And they have other cosmetics that are coming. Ho, ho, ho. We're dialing up the heat in the shop with new equipment, armor, accessories, mount, and mount armor bundles. They'll have you slaying in style. So I would say that this is definitely starting to get to the point where this is cooler than the normal stuff that you can find, which I think everybody kind of knew was coming. For the most part, I kind of felt like the armor in the shop has been pretty bland in some ways. It's kind of like a catch-22, because if they make the armor too cool, then it's like, well, obviously, like if you want to look the coolest, you have to buy the armor, but that kind of goes against their thing. Like we want the shop to kind of be on par with the stuff that you can find normally. And so it doesn't really like justify the price. And so, yeah, it's kind of a weird spot for their monetization to be. Starting January 23rd, you want to pay Tejal a visit to browse her wares. We're going to check back often and she'll update her stock. One such rarefied find from the far reaches of Sanctuary is the Barbarian Lord Eater cosmetic bundle, which contains Lord Eater's armor set. I mean, I'm assuming that this is that, right? And so stay up to date. They'll be on the 18th at about noon Eastern, a developer update live stream, which I guess I'll cover once it comes out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this is some good information for you guys. We'll definitely be looking forward to more information about Diablo 4. And thanks for tuning in. Come by the stream if you have any questions, and see you next time.